Hey snowboarder, what are you doing here? This is skiers only.
I'm here to snowboard.
No, that's not allowed here.
Well, it should be.
Well, it's not.
Well, it should be equal for everyone.
But it's not.
Well, it should be.
But it's not.
Whoa!
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay guys, let's solve this another way.
Our ethical issue is snowboard ban.
So our issues are the snowboarding ban favors the downhill skiing.
Snowboarders are trying to sneak onto the hills.
Snowboarders taking ski resorts to court.
This is affecting two ski resorts in Utah and one in Vermont.
And the land is leased from the U.S. Forest Service, and therefore everyone should have access to it.
Why is this qualified as an ethical dilemma? Well, ethical dilemma is defined by a situation in which there is a choice to be made between two options. So here we have the snowboarders and the skiers, should they be allowed skiing at the same resort in these certain cases, and neither of which resolves the situation in an ethical, acceptable fashion, so not one side will win.
So three possible solutions for our dilemma would be 1, fairness and equality, making a new trail for snowboarders so that they don't continue to tear up the skiing tracks and that the skiers don't have a problem with them being in the same area.
Another solution is deontology, so it's not fair to discriminate against the snowboarders, so it should be that snowboarders can have their own trail, or that all skiers and snowboarders can ski together.
And third, utilitarian, making the decision that benefits most involved, meaning both sides. So personal stances, I chose to do egoist snowboarders don't see the impact that they're having on the hills affecting the skiers, so they're thinking of only themselves, not the skiers, and the skiers are doing the same about what the snowboarders are doing.
I looked at it as more as a fairness and equality, so I think it's not fair that there's only ski resorts for skiers when we should also have just snowboarding resorts. It's not quite fair to ban one and not the other.
So I'm taking the stance of fairness and equality because I believe that both the snowboarders and skiers should have the same opportunities, especially because the land is leased by the U.S. Forest Services, which states that everybody should have the same opportunities for that.
So now we have a quick little video to show you a bit more information about our issue.
Sorry, okay. Ready? Yeah.
This morning there's an interesting battle between skiers and snowboarders. It's off the slopes and now it's in the courtroom. Federal judges are considering whether Alta Ski Resort in Utah is violating snowboarders' constitutional rights by banning them from riding down the mountain. What? David Begno is in Loveland, Colorado. It's not far from where the case is unfolding in Denver. David, good morning.
Gail, good morning. Like most ski resorts in the country, they share the mountain here at Loveland Ski Area, snowboarders and snow skiers. But the bottom line comes down to this. Here's the question in this case. Can a resort that leases public land from the federal government say yes to people who want to snow ski, but no to people who want to snowboard? As this historic footage shows, for more than 75 years, Alta has promoted itself as a skier's paradise.
Enthusiastic skiers from around the globe flock to this unique resort.
Known for its deep powder and beautiful scenery, Alta is also one of 3 resorts in the U.S. that does not allow snowboarding. It's a policy this group of snowboarders wants to change.
It's about access, it's about exclusion, and it violates the law.
Unlike the 2 other resorts that ban boarders, Alta leases public land from the U.S. Forest Service. Rich Varga and Drew Hickens, seen here with their lawyer, have been snowboarding since the 80s, and they're 2 of the 4 snowboarders who filed suit. They say Alta's skiers-only policy is discriminatory and violates their constitutional rights.
Under the law, if you have a policy that excludes one group of people because you don't like that group of people, that violates the Equal Protection Clause.
I think part of it is that, that's my public land as well. They operate on public property. I feel like I have a right to be able to go and use that mountain.
This undercover video provided by the snowboarders involved in the case shows the level of animosity some skiers have toward boarders, whom they perceive as dangerous risk takers.
I hate snowboarders. I hate cold out control.
Oh, you guys are the worst. I don't ever want to see a snowboarder near me.
But Alta contends it's banning snowboards, not the people who ride them. In a statement to CBS News, the company says restrictions are a business decision made in order to promote a unique recreational experience for its customers. They say the equipment restrictions are not about banning people.
This equal protection argument doesn't have a snowball's chance. The Equal Protection Clause is concerned about laws that treat people differently based on who they are. And it's okay in most cases for the government to treat people differently based on what they do.
These snowboarders know they're likely facing an uphill battle, but they hope the legal system gives them a lift.
It is a passion. It is a way of life. To be excluded from the best powder up at Alta and not be able to be part of that is something that's very disappointing.
There is no word on when the federal appeals court is going to make their decision, but Nora, it is interesting to note, last year a judge in Utah threw out the case because he said allowing the case to move forward could open the door to more lawsuits being filed against private companies.
Really interesting story, David. Now, ski, can't you set up two separate lanes now? One for the snowboarders over here and skiers, no?
No, maybe two separate mountains, but not two separate lanes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, as you see, I don't ski, so that's why.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So this video kind of demonstrated and explained a bit more about our issue and how it's been actually going on for quite a long time, but it's like starting to pick up and be more serious. As we can see, they're going to court about it to try and get snowboarders on the hill.
So we have two articles that state the information, pretty much what the video said. This article here talks about how the snowboarders have taken this company, Alta, to court to discuss the land lease and how it's unfair and discriminate to the snowboarders. And we have another article here that furthers that, and it has more detail from workers and from snowboarders on the hill and around the hill.
To conclude, in the future, we hope that a decision is made that benefits both parties. Thank you for listening.